Hi folks, this is Mr. Brennan in the Media Center lab. It was pointed out to us last week during the instructional council meeting that folks are having trouble with their students doing inappropriate things on the internet, playing games, watching music videos, whatever it might be. I pointed out at that time we did not have the opportunity during in-service week because it was so busy to show you guys how to use a program called Synchroneyes, which can see every single monitor and control every single monitor in any of our labs throughout the building. So I'm just going to use the video camera to zoom in close on the screen and give everybody a chance to see how to use this program. It's very simple. There's only a few key buttons that are fairly intuitive to use, and we're going to show that to you now. First, of course, we need to launch the program. This particular one is somewhat hidden. If you go to the Programs key over here, okay, at the very top, above number 1, we're going to click on Programs, and there's a place called Local Apps, which looks like a little globe. So we're under Programs, click, then over to Local Apps. Once that's launched, you'll see the orange icon, Synchronized Teacher 7.0. Double click. It might ask you about evaluating a license, continue evaluation. Just say OK, and the program will launch. Now you'll notice a couple of things right away. I've logged on to 2 of the computers here in the lab so you'd have something to look at. So right away it immediately picks up on those that are active. That's the first thing. Okay, out of the 3 computers that are on, you can see one is on an ordinary menu, but right away we can notice that there's somebody down here is looking at some video about skateboarding. So, for example, we see little Johnny is looking at the skateboarding. In order to get control of his computer, we just double click. We've now got bird's eye view. We can now see it full screen. So now we can see everything little Johnny's seeing, but we've got a nice row of buttons across the top here. So right now we're just observing. If we want to control it, we click on this, and now little Johnny can't jump out of here or wherever the student might be. We now have control of that computer from up here. So I can now stop it from here. I'm standing in the front of the room. The computer is in the back. I can stop the video. That will get Johnny's attention for sure. And we can capture it or take a picture of it. There's also a button to broadcast. So let's stop. That's just the first thing. In order to grab a computer, get control, this will immediately get the student's attention. Okay, now we're going to talk about another feature, which is the message or communicate feature. So I can also communicate, or you can also communicate with all the students in your lab by simply highlighting on a screen and clicking message. I've taken control now of Johnny's computer for a second, and I'm going to type in a little chat box, message stay on task, and we'll go over and take a look at his computer, and he should have the same little message box up there. That generally will get their attention, by the way. Computer, and you can see the same chat box has come up asking Johnny to stay on task, and we can do that with any computer in the lab, and either quietly or indiscriminately get someone's attention, or loudly say, hey Johnny, I've talked to you 5 times, you're off the computer for the day. Next feature we're going to talk about, then we'll review them quickly, is the internet. We can also just go to this button up here, and it says, you'll see that little bar there, no internet. We can click on that. And block the internet out. And as you can see then, the little blocked internet icon comes up, so those students can now not do anything on the internet. This one wouldn't matter. But you can see the icon popped up on each of the computers, so we can also just simply block the internet when we're in a lab and we're only doing PowerPoint or we're only doing an application that resides on the computer. So that's also handy. And if we were to get to a particular place, you could also lock it. And you'll see the lock icon come up. So if we went to a web quest again, or whatever location we wanted them to stay at, we just click on lock, and you'll see it comes up in all of those stations. On the station, here's a quick review. We've zoomed in on all the buttons. Here's a quick review. We can lock a computer, we can block the internet, we can send a message to a student, we can observe generally, and we can click on an individual computer and observe it specifically. We can also just click on that computer and then control it. Or if we want to manage a lesson, go through a PowerPoint, do a presentation of any kind, we can use the broadcast feature. That should allow you to do everything you need to do in any computer lab without worrying about what the students are doing or where they are. Okay, this is obviously just a fairly rough video to give you a general idea, but by way of summarizing, in every single lab in this school at Northwood, from the teacher station, you can click on local apps, go to the program called Synchroneyes, and take control of every computer. You can observe every computer, you can zoom in on a particular computer, you can control an individual computer, or you could lock down and control all those stations just by using a handful of buttons at the top of the computer screen. If you have any questions or you'd like to walk through it quickly, please stop by the Media Center. We can go through the 4 or 5 buttons you need to know in about 3 or 4 minutes. So please don't be shy, come down and see us and get control back in the labs.